Rob, Warne, and Sophie Sierra had a hectic journey since 90-Day Fiancé Season 10. It's rumored that they split, and there are signs it's Rob's fault. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After. Star Rob Warne has only himself to blame for his split from Sophie Sierra. Rob and Sophie first appeared on 90-Day Fiancé Season 10, and their relationship had obvious problems. Rob cheated on Sophie numerous times, and they struggled with communication. Alas, they tied the knot and began filming the spin-off series 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After. Season 8 shortly after getting married. Their relationship is nothing short of dramatic, making Rob and Sophie the latest breakout couple from the 90-Day Fiancé franchise. No matter how hard they try to salvage their marriage, it seems like Rob and Sophie aren't meant to be together. They fought constantly before getting married on 90-Day Fiancé Season 10 and have carried this over to 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After. Season 8. Sophie has given Rob numerous chances to prove himself from his infidelities, but he can't seem to get on the right track. It's rumored Rob and Sophie have split and aren't together anymore. They've been through a lot of conflicts as a couple. One member of the relationship may be more to blame than the other. Rob has little to no patience with Sophie. Rob's ego has gotten out of control since starring in 90-Day Fiancé Season 10. But he was always insensitive towards Sophie. When Sophie arrived in the United States, they got into an argument as soon as she got off the plane. Rob and Sophie entered an elevator, and Rob became impatient with the elevator when it wasn't moving fast enough. The elevator stalled, and Rob and Sophie got into a fight on the show. Sophie was uncomfortable being in the elevator, and Rob got angry with Sophie for being scared. Rob also felt Sophie had spoiled rich girl tendencies when she voiced her concerns about his studio apartment in Los Angeles. Rob lived in a small apartment in Inglewood during 90-Day Fiancé Season 10. The most alarming part of the apartment was that it didn't have a bathroom. Rob and Sophie had to use a bathroom that was outside and communal. Instead of listening to Sophie and affirming her concerns, Rob got angry and thought Sophie was being ungrateful. Rob also wanted Sophie to move on from his past infidelities. During the COVID-19 pandemic, a woman messaged Sophie and told her that he had been sending her explicit messages. Rob thought this was irrelevant because he didn't cheat in person and wanted credit for behaving himself elsewise during their relationship. "I've done nothing else," Rob said, but Sophie soon learned that wasn't true. Rob lacked patience with Sophie as she was working through moving past his cheating. His inability to be empathetic and honest towards his life partner triggered the downfall of his relationship. Sophie took Rob back almost every single time he cheated on her. She gave him countless opportunities to prove himself to be a loyal and dedicated husband, but he failed to do so. Sophie has been very empathetic towards Rob on other occasions, including their living situation during 90-Day Fiancé Season 10. Sophie knew Rob did not have a lot of money to afford a fancy apartment in LA. However, the studio apartment Rob brought Sophie to live in was lacking necessities, including an indoor private bathroom. Sophie was hoping Rob would be able to find a different apartment for them to live in when she moved in with him. However, he was unable to do this. It was important for Sophie to live in a safe, clean apartment. She wasn't asking to move into a luxury apartment in the middle of Beverly Hills, but Rob still thought she was demanding too much. When Sophie's mom, Claire Sierra, came to visit them before their wedding, she disapproved of the apartment. Rob blew up on Sophie and Claire because he felt they had a privileged lifestyle. Rob and Claire had a history of conflict, and this altercation did not help their situation. Rob should have been more open to Sophie and Claire's concerns. He shouldn't have blown up on Sophie's mother when she said she was worried about her daughter living in the small studio apartment that had no bathroom. This instance could have been a moment for Rob and Sophie to bond and see each other's sides of things. But that didn't happen. Kisar Garsha. Rob insisted that he had only cheated on Sophie once during the COVID-19 pandemic, when they were unable to see each other. However, Sophie found more explicit messages between her boyfriend and other women during 90-Day Fiancé Season 10. Sophie had a dream Rob cheated on her, so she decided to look through his phone one day and found many inappropriate conversations between Rob and many other women. Sophie was devastated, and Rob begged her to take him back. Sophie was disappointed that Rob hadn't told her the truth about his infidelity. Sophie hoped that that would be the last case of infidelity from Rob. They went on to get married and ended up moving to Texas for a fresh start. During 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 8, Episode 1, Sophie revealed she found more inappropriate messages between Rob and other women. This was devastating for Sophie, as they were both married now. Sophie moved out and started living with her friend, Kay, in the wake of the disaster. Rob's most recent infidelity was the last straw for Sophie. On 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 8, Sophie revealed she immediately moved out after she found out about Rob cheating again. They met up after not seeing each other for 2 months on the first episode of the season, and Sophie decided not to go back to their apartment after the meeting went terribly. Sophie wanted Rob to show remorse for his actions, but this didn't happen, and she wasn't able to accept that. Rob is to blame for his split from Sophie. His lack of patience, disloyalty, and dishonesty have tainted their relationship for good. Sophie has attempted to forgive Rob for his past actions, but he keeps on making the same mistakes. It's unclear if they'll stay together or split up on 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After, Season 8, but time will tell all.